it crosses the line into religion in a very, very serious way, as it deals with the true nature of the continuity of spirit. There's a true nature to the truths that involve spiritual continuity that is technologized, that is made into a sort of potentially controllable system where there is a conservation of continuity of existence. And so this is a huge thing from many, many perspectives. You've got a lot of different interests involved with this issue, and it's the thing that's the big thing on the table right now with all of the movie makers. There's this the Avatar thing, is the big thing now. It's the big movie, and I don't know how I should approach dealing with my part of it, presenting the truth about what I know about it. I don't know what the wise thing to do is. I don't want to be a martyr to this darker, subtle reality. And it's not so subtle to a lot of people. There's a lot of people who know about it. They don't usually talk about it, unfortunately. And it was something that came about, I believe, in the 60s, at least the large awareness of it here in the United States, when people started experimenting with acid. And there were a lot of songs that have been written about it. And I think the one that resonates mostly deeply with my personal feelings about it is The Sounds of Silence. And he says, "My eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fools, say I, do not know. Silence, like a cancer, grows." And Paul Simon is all over it. Simon and Garfunkel are all over it on that analysis. We can't be silent about this. It'll eat us up. And it's the sort of thing that, whole civilizations rest on. It's a sort of religious, spiritual truth that is going to completely transform what the human being is. And this is something that Albert Hoffman said about LSD. It's something to make us into. It's just a tool to make us into what we're supposed to be. And Sri Aurobindo says this is a transitional being. The human being is a transitional being, and the theory of evolution is flawed. The ascribers, the people who are ascribed to the Darwinian notion of evolution, don't understand that there's a level on which this is intelligent, that the sun is part of an intelligent being, and this with the nuclear deposit into our ocean is a form of its intelligence becoming more pervasive in our world on a time scale that we can't completely comprehend, because it deals with, if you want to talk about time as a linear form, the hydrogen of the soul is the primary building block. The hydrogen is what the neutron and the proton are based on, the model for the neutron and the proton. And, these are just approximations of the reality. The fact is that these people don't know what an electron is. And, Tesla knew. He wouldn't say. Walter Russell tried to explain what an electron is. Ernest Norman tried to explain lesser different levels of understanding there. These principles, the principles that they were trying to explain, these phenomena, these manifestations with, are very, very similar to what I refer to as the common medium carrier hypothesis. And it's the underlying concept in Genesis that is the nature of the Selah. It is the nature of light itself as it relates to physical matter, energy, and the continuity of that physical matter. And the uranium and the plutonium, plutonium is rare earth. It didn't really exist before we created it. In its time frame, it's late. It's a late development. It's a recent development. And what is unusual, what is very novel about its appearance on the scene in the late 19th, I guess late 19th century, early 20th century, let's just say, in the 20th century, when we started toying with uranium in the nuclear reactor, we didn't realize that the time in which the uranium was created, which was however long ago, because of its age, would be expressed in its dissolution as a material continuity. And so there's this old energy that is manifesting on the Earth right now, that is symmetric with what people are pointing at with 2012. And Bob, this is my friend down in Kentucky I referred to earlier, this was his question: what does this mean in the context of what we're experiencing here in 2012 in this time and space? A lot of people have been experiencing this sort of consciousness shift where we're becoming aware of these things at an increasing rate that is somehow being accelerated by the technology in a very dark way, I see. Not just from the nuclear dump into the sea, but from the what you might want to call the artificial or this assisted transcendental form. See, before the technology, before the sort of avatar technology, this is something that had been the domain of the proper spiritual schools. There's a way to transcend time-space practicing without the assistance of technology. And this this technology has been advanced by the advances with the electromagnetic infrastructure. And so this is something that is very dark. It's not, widely known. Probably a large number of people now who are engaged in working with it, and those people have tried to, seemingly are still trying to get me on their ship. And I've been very resistant because I see the way that their methods, and I don't approve of their methods. And so there's an issue with the methodology and what's proper, and I'm not the kind of person you can easily buy out on these issues. And so there's this sort of alienation that has intentionally been enforced by the people inside the government who want to control and police this understanding as alien. And so they use this, the CIA uses the guise that individuals or people who have this knowledge are not treated as citizens. They're not treated they're not treated the same as everyone else because they have this knowledge that is alien, rather than seeing it as divine or seeing it as what it is as far as its importance to our society, and letting people know what has been discovered about the true nature of what in the Bible is referred to as God. They've been trying to sabotage God, which, how long is that going to work? Come on, guys, wake up. And so the links that they've gone to are just pretty despicable, and you wouldn't believe if I tried to give you the details. Most people wouldn't believe the stuff that's actually going on. And you know, I created a very dark channel. I created the Farscape 2 channel about 6 months ago, something like that. I don't know how long ago it was. But recently I created another one called Shepherd's Pass, which is alluding to the whole Stargate phenomenon, and calling out some of their, shall we say, tragic entendres. And so yeah, it's called Dr. Shep, S-H-E-P A-S-S, Dr. Shep Ass, or Doctors She Pass. All kinds of things you can do with that. I wanted to get something fun in there, so it's D-R-S-H-E-P-A-S-S, Dr. S-H-E-P, yeah, Dr. Shep Ass, or Dr. She Pass, or Doctors She Pass. You could do all kinds of stuff with it, so have fun with it. It's probably not going to go anywhere. I'm not probably going to do anything with it, but it's there. I really don't have time for it when it comes down to, as far as I know. I mean, if these, what I'm understanding is true about the nature of what's in there, I mean, if I'm really what was in there in the first place, why would I want to go in there, right? And so, yeah, how much of it is just based on me, I don't know. It's pretty fucking scary if you're me. But yeah, Daniel Jackson, John Shepard, very dark stuff. I'm warning you. I don't recommend you watch it. Like I said, you probably won't understand it, you know, considering how well I understand it. Which, you know, if you set out to lie to people, you know, just make a bunch of fucking jokes, you know, that behind people's back that they're not going to get, you know, go for it. You know, it's a free world, right? Until somebody pulls a carpet out from under your little show. And so I don't know. I don't know where it's going, you know. But, you know, it's not all of the cases of this sort of phenomenon have I been so upset with. The Avatar thing was playful enough that I thought it was pretty cool, and I don't want to get into the details about the references in it. It's not just about me. Clearly, James Cameron is genius. You know, I think it's a great effort at what it is. It's still very violent, and you know, that might need to be what happens. You know, I've always been very sort of passive and resistant to violence as a way to solve problems, and it's getting to the point with Fukushima. The Fukushima is sort of demonstrating to me that we've let these people get away with too much. They should not have been allowed to get away with Fukushima. And my biggest concern is that the Solar Logos is going to have some sort of reaction to that spill in the form, on the level of the physical manifestation of the Earth's hypertime translation. This is a very, very difficult thing to try to calculate what's going to happen because of it. But it makes some of the nice thing about it is it makes some of the other problems that we have look less significant. I mean, it's a terrible thing to say, but it's really the case. It's really the truth. The other problems that we have just simply aren't as big in context, seemingly is interesting as far as their long-term effect on the development of humanity. And so, where is that going? I don't know. I'll try to put an analysis of that out at some point, other than no more dumb nuclear scum, which is sort of the ultimatum that the Solar Logos seems to be issuing on the continuity of humanity.